Good evening. It is October the 9th, around 7:50 in the evening, and for now on, I'm going to start doing every Saturday night, even though it is a Sunday night tonight. Every Saturday night, I'm going to do a weekly briefing on what the incoming week is going to be forecast-wise and weather-wise. So let's go ahead and get started. This is starting off Monday morning at 0Z, and you notice this is for Western Kentucky's forecast, and we do see that there is no precipitation in the area. Temperatures will be cool because we will be seeing lows dipping down into the mid to upper 40s. We watch the precipitation to our west around Kansas. We have not had rain in a while. We need the rain. We have not picked up an inch of rain here at my place since the beginning of September. So it has been quite some time since we have gotten some rain. So we are well below average for that. And we notice how there is precipitation going off to our north, connecting with some areas of low pressure. But by Thursday, we are starting to see a more organized event coming in from the north and west around the St. Louis area. But as it is incoming, it is going to be weakening. There is going to be a little bit of dry air over our region, but not as much as we have had the last couple of cold fronts where the precipitation just completely fizzles out by the time it gets to our region. It is still trying to hold together, but just completely dissipates by the time it gets completely through our region. I think that it will be dissipating over our region, but not before it gets here. So some areas will pick up some rain, but it would favor areas on the northwest parts of Kentucky. This would be like places like Owensboro, Paducah, back towards Barlow, Kentucky, and Sturgis, Kentucky. Those areas would be more prone to getting some raindrops out of that event rather than areas such as Bowling Green or Hopkinsville. Now, we don't get much of a break. By the time we're getting into Friday, we are already watching more precipitation. This one looks to be a more organized event than the Thursday system and Wednesday night system. This event right here is coming out of the southwest, so that means that our winds are going to be switching around, and we're going to see this system coming out of the southwest, but it doesn't seem to be, at least the GFS model doesn't want to attach any low pressure with it, so it might not be moving all that fast. You can tell that by the time it gets to our region, this is already Saturday morning, and it is still parked over our region with just a few light showers. At least this model is showing. The European model is showing several days of rain this week as well. And so we're going to have to watch this. This is going to be several events. By the time we get past the weekend, we're already starting to see, by the time we're getting to next weekend's briefing, we're already seeing more precipitation as a cold front is incoming from the west. So we have several more chances of precipitation that also shows up on our vortmaxes. This is areas of energy. So you can say that this is area where precipitation is, where there's a chance of precipitation. And you can tell that we don't have any of those until we start to get around the Tuesday time frame, but they're very, very low. And so by the time we get to Thursday, though, you can tell that they are very higher, and so higher values. So we're starting to see a little bit more energy in the atmosphere, a little bit more energy for the precipitation and the low pressure to work with. That is going to be a cold front. You notice that our temperatures by Friday are cooling off into the 50s, and we're going to watch temperatures Friday morning maybe dipping down into the upper 40s once again. So it looks like that is going to be a little bit above average for this time of the year, but it is going to feel nice because we are going to warm up just a little bit this week, but it is not going to be that much, maybe the upper 70s. You can tell by the time that we get to around Sunday of next week, there is more energy associated with the other cold front that is going to be coming through. So with these cold fronts coming through one right after the other, that is going to mean that our temperatures are going to be really getting down there on the thermometer, because when one cold front comes through, it knocks down the temperatures. Another one comes behind it, it knocks down the temperatures even more. So we're going to have to watch that, but you can tell throughout the incoming of the week that by the time that we get to Saturday, we are watching by the time we get through the Saturday system, we are looking around a half inch to an inch of rain. This is just one particular model. This is the GFS model, so take it as just don't take it as gospel, because this model is just one of several models that each have their own opinion. And this one, I think it has a good handle for at least this week's weather. Sometimes it can show some pretty crazy stuff, but at least for our region and for this week's weather, it looks like it is playing out something that seems reasonable right now, because there are several precipitation chances. A more active pattern looks to be unfolding. October is always our transition month from warm to cool weather, and so I think it is going to be at least 2 to 3 more weeks before we are permanently into fall and we don't have to worry about any of those up and downs in the temperatures. But right now, that's the way it looks for the next several weeks. And that is going to mean that the sickness, if it isn't already here, it is going to be getting going and getting stirred around. The harvest time is stirring around allergies as well. So there are several things going on in the weather that are making people not feel so well right now at this time of the year. But there is light at the end of the tunnel. It looks like by the time we get to the end of the month, we're going to see those permanently cooler temperatures and some more rainy weather, which is what we need. It might not sound nice, but it is really what we need right now because we need to add some precipitation numbers onto the charts.